there, my name is Arna Skipwith. I am the archivist at the Scots School, Albury. I'm sitting down to have a chat with Sue Jack about her time as a student at Woodstock. Sue, thank you so much for coming to be with us here today, sharing your experiences of the life as a schoolgirl at Woodstock. Are you able to give me an idea of what you thought when you first went there in your early days and what your connection to the school is today?
I went to Albury preschool first. My dad used to ride me down there on the bike, and then I came to Woodstock in 1956 and started in kindergarten there, which was a funny little tiny room, and Mischief was our teacher, and we had a sand pit on legs, and we used to go drive it around the cowrie shells as like little cars. And when my girls came here in kindergarten, there it was again, still full of sand. That was rather cute. I loved primary school, it was really good, and made lots of friends. And then by the time year 5 and first form, a friend came up here from Rand, and she was a boarder, Diane Duncan. And so I used to call her Dunny, and she used to call me Ooey, Suey Ooey. And we were the youngest boarders, and it was so much fun over in East Albury. It was really good being an only child and all these girls to play with. It was really lovely. Diane and I have kept in touch, and she was my bridesmaid when Peter and I went to our wedding. She was there being my bridesmaid. And still friends with us. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, and still keep in touch with the girls that were in my class too.
Oh. And can you tell me about your family's connection to school as it stands today?
Peter went to Albury Grammar. He went to Albury Public School first, then he came here to Albury Grammar, and I went to Woodstock, and I was boy shy. And then later on we met and got married, and we had 3 girls, and they all came here in preschool, right, and then Louise went right through to year 12, and she's a nurse now. Katie and Ellen finished in year 9 and went to Albury High School, and they were both nurses too, and Ellen still is. So that's our connection. My parents never went to grammar school. Dad was from Western Australia.
Ah, interesting. And why do you think that they chose to send you to Woodstock?
Oh, it's a Presbyterian school. Oh, don't play around with Catholics and common people. That was my mother.
I felt meaningful.
I wasn't even allowed to play with the kids across the road because they were Catholics, and I couldn't play with another lot of friends. I still think of them all because their father worked on the railway line. And I lived in David Street, on the corner of Hume and David Street, which is now a motel. And then there was Macaulay Street, then the railway line, and there was Woodstock. You know, like I could walk backwards and forwards. It was really strange. And then Mum decided that I could be a boarder, and that's where I met Di. And so I stayed only that far away from home again.
And were you a boarder during the week and then went home for the weekend?
Nope, stayed there the whole time.
Interesting.
And I was really disappointed. Mum, the other girls would save all their dirty clothes and take them home in the school holidays, and their mother would wash them. So I'd pile all mine in the washing bag that we had and take them home. Then she'd say, you can walk up to the modern laundry up there, because they had front-end loaders, and I'd stuff all my washing in there and wash it. Then I'd come home, then I'd get into trouble because I'd just pull it straight out of the front loader. It was all tangled up. But at school, our school uniforms and sheets all got washed. Otherwise, on a Saturday morning, we did our washing. And there was a laundry, there was cement troughs and the wringer, and then you'd go out to the clothes line, and you had to be pretty quick because you didn't want to be in the middle, because you know how they lean down, those funny old ones, and have your own pegs and things like that. And in my dormitory, there was 14, 7 up one side and 7 up the other, and funny little skinny wardrobes that you had to put your clothes in that way on the hangers. So there was a wardrobe, chest of drawers, a wardrobe, a chest of drawers, and Diane, my mate, we'd run and and then we'd get into trouble with that, and then we would get caught for talking. And the matron would send us down to the dining room. This is still at old Woodstock in East Albury. And you'd stand down there on purpose because you were getting a bit light on Vegemite or your peanut butter. So then you'd go around the other, mine and a bit mine and a bit mine. Then a couple of days later you'd notice, oh, my Vegemite's getting low real quick. And there was even a tuck shop where your mother gave you a tin of biscuits and cakes that she'd made, and you'd put them on the shelves in the tuck room, and then you might be getting a bit light, say, and then later on that would go to someone else's tin. It was really funny. Outside toilets, 2 baths in one room, and Di and I used to really soak the bath up. Then we'd slide backwards and forwards, and there was a toilet at the end of the bath. And Di zoomed too far and got stuck in the toilet when the roof were out.
Looking back on your time at Woodstock, can you tell me or give me an understanding of how you felt it set you up for your life?
It gave me the gift of the gab, although I have kissed the Milani stone. No, I enjoyed school, loved it, but not academically. And then I did typing and shorthand, and Mum and Dad decided they would send me to Wagga Commercial College, which was a private secretarial college, and we zoomed right through all the books and typing 60 words a minute without looking at the type, and can still type too.
What was school life like on a day-to-day basis? Was it more about study, or was it the broader experience that made it special?
Oh, I loved science, biology and that. I wouldn't have minded being a nurse there. And so that was one of my favourite subjects, hopeless at maths and still am and don't care, because I thought, oh, I'll marry a clever husband, that'll be his problem, like my dad. Oh, that was naughty of me.
Is there a memory from your time at school that stands out for you?
Just fun, and the weekend fun. Different areas belong to different age groups. Like the great big Norfolk Pine, a bit where little kids played underneath that because it was huge. We played down in the horse stables over there because it was an old home. Vegetable garden there with a little track around the kitchen used to use, and Di was in the wheelbarrow one day and I'm wheeling the wheelbarrow around and whoops, turned it over, chopped a cauliflower in half with the trouble for that. There we go again. And yeah, it was really lovely. All the girls were really lovely and I still see them all, lots of them, and we're all still the same.
When your daughters attended school, what changes stood out to you compared to your own experiences?
And a bit more now, like looking out at the playground and how, they're not tucked in anymore, their shirts and things like that. So we had to learn marching for down the street, and I was disappointed in all the schools just walk down willy-nilly like they have to, or that's a shame.
So you think standards?
I can see, yes, slipping. We had to wear a grey felt hat in the winter time and grey gloves. In the summertime we had the straw hat, white gloves. Speech day, we had a church uniform which was white with blue trim on it, and that was for that. And our socks had to be right, and clean shoes. And
So I can see that you've brought some things in from your time at school. Are you able to give me an idea of what you have in front of you?
Yes, my mother framed my school badge and the metal badge, which we wore, and we had a bigger one on our hat. And in year 6, I was a captain, and that would have been on a bag or something or other. And this was one of the books. I couldn't find the other one.
Yeah.
Then I won for first prize. Oh, no, third prize. Oh, I'm telling a lie. In 1958, and that's when Mrs. Cross, she was a lovely lady, she was school captain. Then I've got the whole lot of all the wrens that I could find, because they were cleaning out over in the Gadsden building upstairs, and I thought, oh no, we can't chuck those out. The cookery book is, it's got my dad in there again, because they got special people to help fund it, and so he did there. He got Harry Reid. And that was interesting, going through the cookbook and seeing all the recipes and who wrote them. I was just like tripping down memory lane. And then Mrs. Snow, who used to live at Kensington Gardens where I am now, this was 3S, S for Snow, cooking book. And I have written recipes in there, but they weren't hers. I just kept it going. I must have tore the pages out, because it was how you make brains and tripe, and never ate that. And then that's just an official opening to the dedication of the new school out at Union Road in 1962, and all about the history at the back there. And then my dad was on the school council too. There's Dad written there. Yeah. So there's some of the things that I brought.
Were you excited to be moving to the new school?
Oh, to the new school out at Diggers Road, yeah. I remember Mum going on and on, because she was one of the helpers to move everyone out. All the chewing gum under the chairs and under the table, because we used to get 2 shillings, and there was a shop on the corner, Beck's, I think it was, and we would get chewing gum and lollies and all that and come back.
All the secrets were revealed. I would love to know, Sue, what you thought about your time at school during the 1960s. And there was a huge change socially. The swinging 60s, the shortened hemlines, that sort of thing.
Oh, getting shorter, the uniforms.
I noticed in all of the school photographs, the fashions were changing and the girls were...
That's right. We had to kneel on the ground, and they had sports uniform, all had to be a certain height, and same with the summer uniform. We had to wear grey pants in the winter time to go with the grey uniform. They were grey flannelette, so you get lots of fluff in your belly button. And then in the summer, I think they might have been blue.
Are you able to tell me a little bit about your cooking lessons at school?
Oh, rightio. There was Mrs. Slow, and then there was also a Miss Duncan, Jeanette Duncan, and she was Di's sister. She was her elder sister. And I remember my dad used to laugh that Miss Duncan would get, because I'd go out to Di's on school holidays. For half the holidays she'd come to my place and go out to random, and Jeanette would ask her mother, you know, how do you make this, how do you make that to teach at school? It was cheating. There was all in the cooking room, there was all gas stoves this side and electric stoves that side. And I remember one girl she must have turned the gas on, then opened the door with the match going, and whoop, and then her hair caught alight. Shouldn't laugh. So she got a bit of a bashing around the head with the tea towels. And then I was never brought up with brains or tripe. I mean, there's enough on the outside without eating the inside, Mum always said. Wise woman. And then the teacher said, now hands up who wants to make tripe and who wants to make cooked brains. And I knew what brains were, and I didn't know what tripe was, so I thought, it might be something nice. So I put my hand up for that, and then I found out what it was when I started cooking it, and it was all sort of toughish and Oh, and haven't had it since. And Dad loved crumb brains, but Mum always said, you can go to the hotel and you can have crumb brains there.
Oh, that's a fantastic story.
Oh, it was so funny.
What a surprise.
And then we had to wear a special uniform and, not uniform, apron and a hat in domestic science. That's what it was called then.
What did you think the discipline was like when you were young?
Oh, I got the cuts once from Abel Roberts. She was the matron. This is when I was aboard and we all went into the dining room, and my pumpkin was hard on the plate, a bit hard and a bit cold, and it was awful and I couldn't eat it, and she was rousing on me. I'm sitting there and I'm crying and I don't want to eat it. And then she took me outside with the feather duster handle and went whack on the back of my leg. God, that hurt. That was the only time I ever got smacked. School was a lot of fun, probably too much fun for me. I was getting into trouble too. It was good. I always had fond memories.
It sounds like you really enjoyed your school years.
Oh, I did.
It's the other time of your life, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Sue. It's just lovely.